Hi. So, I just wanted to pop on really quick and let you know that my schedule is changing a bit. I think. I don't know. So, for that reason, I'm going to close my books for personal readings for the time being. Obviously, the people who already have readings scheduled, nothing changes for you. We will do those readings on those dates and times, but I'm just not going to take any new bookings, at least for right now. So obviously, I will let you know if that changes. We're talking about May. Shouts out to you, May babies, Taurus and Gemini. I'm a cusper. My birthday is on the 20th. Oh my gosh. So, anyway, without further ado, let's get into the reading. We're going to be using the Angels and Ancestors Oracle deck. And then we're using this tarot deck. I need to find the name of it. It doesn't come with a book, which is really annoying to me, but I'll figure it out. I'll Google it because I have no clue. I got it a couple years ago. So without further ado, and obviously because of my schedule, the videos are going to come out probably a bit more sporadically. Just an FYI on that too, if you care. But yeah, let's get into it. Okay, let's see who's next. 2-4. Let's do it. So I'm trying to make these a little bit shorter than usual because your girl can be long-winded. And like I said in the intro, things change, and I went from having an abundance of time to limited time, and these are a priority for me, and I love putting these messages out here, both the zodiac and the human design profile readings. And what is my point? Oh, if they're shorter, I can do more of them in a day. So, and it would take less editing. I really only edit out the long stints of me just sitting here staring at the cards and, like receiving messages and stuff. So, just so you don't have to like listen to me breathe, and it also makes the videos a little shorter, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So I say that, and like the first few readings I did, they were not that much shorter. So it's going to take some practice. Okay. Oh, so if you're here, you are a 2-4 or hermit opportunist. And that second line, hermit line, is, it's interesting because, like you think hermit and you think homebody, kind of spending time alone, which, you do, right? I'm sure you love being in your comfy space. I have no doubt that your cave or your home, your designated space or whatever is super duper comfy for you. Because you want to have a safe space, like somewhere to land when you get peopled out, because you will, and you do get peopled out. The second line also comes with this kind of natural aptitude. Like, sometimes the second line is called like the natural genius or something like that. But what is also with the second line is that you have a hard time recognizing that quote unquote like genius or talent within yourself. So, it's kind of like you need other people to recognize that within you and almost kind of like pull it out a little bit. And, that can be a bit, depending on your experience and trust level with people, like it can be hard to receive that or be seen in a certain way. But, like there is no doubt that there's probably something that you really enjoy doing and you're really good at it, but maybe you don't for whatever reason, see it that way. Who is a 2-4? Brene Brown, I believe, is a 2-4. I think Oprah might be a 2-4. I'm not sure about Oprah. I know Brene Brown for sure because I'm obsessed with Brene Brown. But really just, Brene Brown she's super interested in research and data, and she's really good at it, and also really good at communicating the results of that, right? I mean, you don't have to be a Brene Brown. I'm just saying. And then that 4th line is the opportunist line, and that's all about connecting with other people. It's about having a network. It's not necessarily like you have a huge group of besties. It's more so that like you have acquaintances. You have, kind of connections in different groups. Also, your best opportunities are going to be found within your network, whatever that means for you. If you're looking for a job, even just like mentioning it to a friend, or just somebody that you are familiar with. And eventually it's like, that job is going to make its way back to you. Somebody's going to say, hey, like I heard you were looking for a job. I heard that so-and-so was hiring. Let me get you in touch with, whoever it is. That's, the hiring manager or whatever. Same with dating or like meeting people, right? It's like, going out with friends where, you might kind of run into or meet like new people. But then, that second line is going to be like, okay, we need to recharge. Like we need some time alone. We need to, kind of even get back into the things that we enjoy doing by ourselves. So it's kind of that like, that delicate dance between being out there mingling or, doing whatever. And then, that need to be alone and to recharge so that you can be out there and mingling and actually having a good time doing it, right? So we have Elder, move beyond ancestral patterns. I love that. I don't think I've seen this card come out yet in these readings. But it's very much like I kind of keep getting this feeling of like, you don't have to do what somebody in your family did. You don't have to follow the same, how many cards is that? 4. You don't have to follow the same process or the same path that somebody else did just because it worked out for them, Love this, the Sun and the 9 of Cups together. Holy crap. It's also even just like recognizing that you get to be the person who creates their life, like you have the capacity to create exactly what you want to create. And it does not have to look like anything that anybody either ancestrally related to you or otherwise has done. And then the 2 of Swords, wrapping it up. And then we have the Father of Swords, 5 of Cups, 6 of Swords, 7 of Swords, Chariot, Fool. Interesting. Okay, I just kind of had to move the camera a little bit. So, I'm just kind of curious if this Elder has anything that we need to move beyond the limitations that have been set for you by family members, past and present. Know that the energy of your spirit is more powerful than genetics and behavioral patterns. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's kind of what we were already kind of talking about anyway. And again, just because something worked out for somebody else in the way that it worked out for them doesn't mean that you have to follow in those same footsteps in order to achieve the same result. But of course, it's like one of those things where we see it working out for other people, so we want to mimic that level of success, but it's not, it's like not authentic. It's possible, sure, but it's just like, again, it's possible also in your own way. We start with the Sun card, which is like everything good. It's like, it's joy, it's bliss, it's rejuvenation. Even summer, like we're going into summer now, at least in the northern hemisphere. So there's also even maybe this energy about getting outside and literally allowing the sun to touch you, like getting vitamin D in. And like I was saying with the Hermit card, right? Like it is rejuvenating. It is like, being sure to give yourself that gift, like being sure to give yourself this, whatever, like the Sun card is for you. Yeah, it could be a massage. It could be whatever, getting together with a friend, or, taking yourself on a date, whatever it is. I mean, this could even be the goal. We have it paired with the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups is wish fulfillment. It's like getting everything that you deserved and getting everything that you envisioned that you would get, reaching that goal. The sun is either coming up or going down on the Nine of Cups, depending on if you're a sunrise or sunset type of person. But, there's this beach vibe here. So again, like, there's this level of contentment and relaxation and gratitude even here. So it could even just be being grateful for the success that you've had thus far, kind of getting yourself to where you are in this moment. And maybe that's because you have taken a few lefts when, your family or whoever would have taken right turns, Also, even just recognizing that, like literally giving yourself a pat on the back. I mean, you certainly deserve it. Then we have the Hanged Man. Here in the Hanged Man is about seeing things from a different perspective. It's a bit of like willful suspension, possibly delay, but there's a cocoon on there. So there's this transformative kind of energy to it, because it's the suspension or the delay, it's purposeful, because there is something that is either elevating or just changing in some capacity. The Hanged Man also talks about seeing things from a different perspective, which again, right, is moving beyond these ancestral patterns that the Elder card is talking about. It's interesting that we go from daytime to nighttime. But again, if this is the energy that you've been in, then it's like, okay, it's kind of time to like, cocoon yourself in some capacity, because especially with it paired with a Death card, which is Scorpio. This is Leo. Neptune, I think, is Pisces. Death is Scorpio. Again, I'm just pointing them out. They don't have to be a relation to you or somebody else, but they're out here. So the Death card literally says that every new beginning disguises itself as an end. So, if there is kind of something changing here, right, again, even if it is just like needing to kind of shift your perspective or look at something differently, because traditionally in the Hanged Man, the person is hanging upside down by their foot. I mean, literally shifting their perspective upside down. So, and there's also this like enlightenment quality that comes with the Hanged Man too, because if you're able to see things from multiple perspectives, then it allows you to expand your view, like your mental vision, because it's also like recognizing that there's more than one possibility to a thing. Even in this death card, we have this deer carcass looking thing here, right? And this kind of reminds me of spring, because it looks like there's maybe snow on the ground, but there's grass peeking through. But what, I don't know if you are able to see it on this card, but inside of this carcass there's like rubies and red crystals. I don't know what other crystals are red besides like rubies. Maybe like are there like red sapphires, or I don't know why that came to mind. But it has this feeling of, if you were to just be walking by this thing, at first glance you would probably just be like, ew, gross. Right? And you probably maybe wouldn't have even paid it any mind. Right? But then like the more that you look at it, or if you kind of allow yourself to see past the initial like, ew, gross, you would see that there's something else available in here. There's these crystals, these rubies, whatever, So it's like not judging a book by its cover. But so it's kind of interesting that, like the death card has that symbolism, because again, something is ending so that something new can begin. And we wouldn't even know that these crystals or rubies, whatever, were a possibility or even available if this hadn't happened, if this ending didn't happen. So again, with this pairing here, it's like, again, don't judge a book by its cover. Don't accept like the first thing as being the truth or the actual thing, If that makes sense. It's like, allow yourself to look again. Allow yourself to even be open to something, even metamorphizing, which is exactly what's happening in that cocoon. It might have looked a certain way the first time you saw it, but the next time you see it, it changed. Whatever it is, we have the Eight of Swords. Sorry. The Eight of Swords is kind of like the self-inflicted mind prison. It's feeling trapped, feeling stuck, kind of feeling like there's no way out. But it's like, we do that to ourselves, because the Eight of Swords, like they're never trapped. They're like one decision away from shifting their perspective if they wanted to. And sometimes we don't want to. And that's fine, but eventually, we do have to recognize, and especially with it paired with a Two of Swords, which is about indecision. This feels like analysis paralysis to me. This is also very too much headspace. And in the realm of human design, we don't want to make decisions from our head, because the head center is a pressure center. We should always allow everything to just kind of sink down into our body, go through our strategy and authority. So it's interesting, because it's like, this could be either the goal or where you are. This could be the concern or the fear. It could be that, things are going to fall apart, or that there's not going to be an option available, whatever the option is. And, this Two of Swords is like literally hanging on by a thread. Whether that's that thread, like whether it's because it's been rubbing up against these swords, or just the tension that, both sides pulling on it has, started to unravel the rope, but it's literally hanging on by a thread. So, maybe you feel that way. Maybe you don't want to feel that way. It's like trying to control things so much to where this doesn't happen. It's even like allowing yourself to work through the decision or the options that you do have available. Because we have the Father of Swords at the bottom of the deck. And it looks like he's literally thinking, And this is the King of Swords. It's the highest expression of the suit. So there is a mental clarity to the King of Swords, logic, They're also facing the right side, so it's very kind of future focused. We have the Five of Cups, which is loss. It's grieving. It's also more so about, the focus being on these 3 cups that have spilled out. Like that tends to be what the focus is. It's focusing on what isn't available or the things that we have lost, instead of recognizing that there's still 2 cups here. And also, the relation between the universe juice going on in this cocoon and what's in these glasses here. So it's like all is not lost. There's a Six of Swords, which is about, moving mentally, moving your thoughts on, like, focusing on something else. And even, just a creative aspect of these swords turning into flowers, and blossoming and potential and possibility. You could be moving or thinking about moving. You don't have to, but, that kind of came to mind. Even, I'm like, all of a sudden I'm getting this image of like, the magic trick where, like the clown or whoever like pulls the flowers out from their sleeve, or, it has this energy of like something showing up. Even like I was saying with this death card, like, things just not being what they originally appear to be. Because it's kind of like, there's these, I don't know what these are on the ground, but, where they sheaths or whatever they're, where, they pulled the blades off, and there's flowers under there. So even just softening, it's very interesting. And then look at the stark contrast between the Seven of Swords and the Six of Swords. The Seven of Swords to me is like the card of us fooling ourselves. It's kind of like self-sabotagey. Also, too, like how these swords are like in the ground the way that they are. So it's like, we go from the flowy kind of Six of Swords energy to back to this kind of rigid, no, I have this idea in my head and I won't accept anything other than that, even if it's not even the best option. We do that to ourselves, though. The Chariot, especially this Chariot card. The Chariot is about divine guidance. Like you are exactly where you need to be, for one, and you're going to go exactly where you need to go. So there's this aspect of like trusting the guidance, but also with this being a salmon, right? And they swim upstream to lay their eggs. And it may feel like counterintuitive to swim against the current, but they're acting on pure instinct. It doesn't have to make sense to everybody else. It makes sense to them, and they get to where they need to go, right? So even if whatever is going on feels counterintuitive, there is this kind of like trust and surrender. Speaking of, with the Fool card, that you are walking into a new time. There's this leap of faith aspect that comes with the Fool card. Definitely trust, definitely surrender. And right on the other side of this waterfall, right, could be this experience.
But if it feels counterintuitive, then sometimes we have a hard time trusting that, which again goes back to strategy and authority. We have the Nine of Pentacles behind that, which is individual success, independence, financial freedom. So again, right on the other side of that is success. So I hope this made sense. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your cards. I will talk to you soon. Bye.